What is going on, everyone? Nick from Comic Culture here. Time for another key comic flip through. This time, I'm really excited to show you guys Old Man Skywalker from Daniel Warren Johnson. I believe this came out in 2019. It was supposed to be a New York City Comic Con exclusive. I think he brought about 300 with him to the con. A lot of them got sketched and remarked. And signed rather, and this one did not. I actually have a couple copies of this now, and they're both unsigned. So when I go see him at Heroes Con, this is gonna be really cool, a grail piece to bring to him to get signed. But let's break this down real quick. First, if you guys have any more history of this book, please let me know down below in the comments. It's a little bit elusive, and I would love to see what y'all know about this particular issue. But Old Man Skywalker, man. So very reminiscent of the Mark Hamill Old Man Skywalker that we have in the most recent films. He's covered in blood. Let's see why we bust into this issue. So again, set in the future, we have this Star Destroyer right here. We have Luke facing off with some kind of new Sith enemy, right? He's got these tusks. He looks badass, completely surrounded with stormtroopers. They're all aimed. They're all getting their blasters ready. And we get this amazing shot right here from behind Luke looking into this war zone he's about to enter. And it's a classic hallway scene that we've come to know and love in a lot of pop culture. A lot of nasty shit goes down inside of a hallway scene. So let's see exactly what's going to be happening next in these pages. The stormtroopers open fire all around our Sith Lord right here. And Luke is, of course, he's very formidable. He's been there. He's done that. He's thrown up a force field right here, a force field, if you will. And after a while of, deflecting all those shots, he has enough of that crap and starts like projecting his force, his essence, his power outward. And what's really cool is you can see all these guys, they stop shooting and you can see like cracks and stuff starting to happen and they're starting to question what's going on. Once he puts a little bit more effort into it, these bottom pages show a complete disintegration of the stormtroopers, just absolutely being ripped apart and just destroyed. They explode in a way. And you can see like bones and stuff like that in this panel down here, which is just like so crazy, I think. It's just like, we've never seen the Force used this way inside of comics. At least I haven't. And this panel up here speaks to a lot of what's going on as well. So we have Luke up here with his relatively clean environment up here. And then we have our Sith dude over here who's just completely covered in blood and guts and armor and stuff. And it's just such a crazy, crazy scene. But that's where it escalates from there, man. We have our stare down right here. And we have this moment here. It's a little bit up to interpretation, but how I see it is it's one or the other. It's like the ship was already under attack and it's exploding, and this is kind of like the last moments on the ship, or it's the two of them powering up and like kind of using the Force to fight each other in like a non-physical way. And because of that, all these like micro explosions start happening all over the place. The structure becomes compromised, and because of that, we have all these explosions and whatnot, and we have all these, in Star Wars they have those giant walls of essentially like glass panels or whatever they are. We have all the crew getting sucked out into space, and they're orbiting this nearby planet, and because of that, they're all going to start falling down into it as like meteors, and we're going to see that very soon. But this is a really, really cool spread, man, especially this page here where we have Luke and we have our Sith dude over here standing on platforms in freaking space where there's no oxygen or anything, and they're just squaring down still. Meanwhile, you have chunks of the Starcraft like falling in, and then you have bodies of all the crew members just like floating around. And so this is just a really cool stare down moment right here. It's like an episode of Dragon Ball Z, I'm telling you. And so here's that really cool moment where all the debris and bodies turn into meteors because they're entering the planet's atmosphere. And it's just so cool to see that. And of course, we got our epic lightsaber battle with them leaping at each other, taking their swipes, crossing blades. There's not a whole lot of it, but it's awesome to see what we get right here. And very thematically and ironically, Luke over here takes the arm of this Sith Lord right here, and you can see like bones and stuff, which I think is really cool. So that was executed really well. This scene here is very much like a lone wolf and cub kind of a scene, in my opinion, or whatever samurai movie or comic you want to reference, but it's just so cool to see that. I like his blades. They're not super tiny and like samurai sword-ish. They're thick, man. They are thick blades, and he's got a lot of cool like movement and scratchiness to it. So I think he handled that really, really well. And of course, this is all happening as they're plummeting down towards this planet. So let's see what's happening next. And again, pretty much defeated. We have our Sith dude here. We have Skywalker leaning over him right now. Again, look at that lightsaber. So cool. And this part here kind of confused me at first, but what's really happening here, and it's quite obvious after I realized what it was, they're staring down at each other. Luke just like loses it and starts force pushing this dude through the platform that they're standing on. He's above him here, and he starts slamming him into the ground, and he throws him through towards the planet, and boom, he hits that ground like a meteor. And so Luke's like, you know what, that probably didn't finish it. Let me go ahead and put together essentially my spirit bomb over here, and let me take care of some business. So Luke starts to levitate over here, gets into his meditation type position here. And again, we have all this falling debris behind them, right? It's still falling down. He starts pulling all these pieces together and reconstructs the freaking Star Destroyer. And you can see it coming together right here as he's like, essentially Goku spirit bombing this thing. And then once it's complete, he hurls it down at the ground right where this Sith dude landed to finally knock this dude out. And let's see exactly what happens. This panel is insane. This little 2-page spread right here. We have the guy, he hit the ground, he's recovering, he looks up, and this is what he sees. He sees this giant Star Destroyer flying right at him with this amazing lettering all across the top. And this, you know, essentially this point of view that suggests there's no way out of this, man. And of course, we get our huge explosion down here with the lettering going out into space and all these lines flying out. It's just such a cool panel to show how immense that explosion was. So he did a really, really good job with this. The speed lines and everything, man, it's handled so well. So let's see what happens to our Sith Lord in the next page here. Not a whole lot. Coming to the conclusion of the book, we have our massive crater here, and we have Luke, who eventually got down to the planet. He's approaching the crater. He sees the old remains and everything of this dude, and what does he do? Hawks a loogie right on his helmet and walks away out into the sunset. And then we get our classic end from Daniel Warren Johnson, 2019. So holy crap, what a crazy book this was. No dialogue, because when you're an artist like Daniel Warren Johnson, man, you let the art speak for itself. And that's exactly what he did inside of this book. This is incredible. I'd read it for the first time today. I can't believe I was sleeping on this book for so long. I highly recommend if you can get yourself a copy of this. They are pretty expensive, so just, you know, shop around, make the right moves. But if you can't get it, hopefully this video is the next best thing for you. Old Man Skywalker from Daniel Warren Johnson. Definitely a staple of my collection now at this point. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, share, hit that bell notification to be alerted whenever I put out new videos like this one right here. I appreciate you watching again. We'll see you in the comments.